Hey, welcome, beautiful Patty. I'm so happy to see your gorgeous face. And this is going to be a mentoring session, which I'm really excited about. So some of the interviews are spotlights on mamas, and some of them are going to be mentoring sessions. So I'm really excited to discover where you're at in your business and how I can help you move forward. So Patty, could you just explain to us what you do and where you're at right now in your business?
Okay, so what I do is I do coaching, so one-on-one, and I run workshops. And my path has been mainly working with education professionals and helping them with work-life balance, well-being, and emotional intelligence. And then I recently took 10 months off to have baby number 4.
Baby number
And
4. Wow.
And on reflection, during that time off, I sort of felt like I had sort of contributed all that I could really give in that space, in terms of, I had delivered workshops in schools, worked with people, written a book, put it as an online course. And I felt that the people that were coming to me were no longer teachers, and I really had this calling. And what was happening is working with people solely with self-confidence and not losing it with their loved ones.
Oh, beautiful. So we are very aligned. We've both written books, and you sent me your beautiful book, Teach, Love, Life.
Yeah, that's right.
Book, and I read that and I loved that. And then I actually gifted it to my son's kindy teacher.
Oh, beautiful.
She would really love it too. And obviously the book is for teachers. And of course I've done the same. I put pretty much most of the content from my book on an online course. And so I totally know that space. We go to extraordinary lengths to write a book. We go to extraordinary lengths to put that content online. And then it kind of just sits there. And unless we're out there actively promoting it day to day, like really leveraging the work starts when you've finished publishing. A lot of people don't realize.
Oh, that's when the real work starts. Yeah,
the real work starts actually getting that book out there and connecting with people all the time. And then of course we have babies, and I know you've got 4 kids, and I really felt this with Luna as well. And it's like we're sort of in this space where we're like, where do I go? And it sounds like you're changing markets. You had a market of teachers and healthcare workers and professionals, but you're now moving into a different market. So I guess you're at a bit of a crossroads, and I guess you're feeling conflict around where to go with that. So when you say that you feel called to step up into a different area, where do you feel that energetically?
Energetically, I feel that really around my heart space. That's where I feel that. So for me,
we're 100% in the right place. 100%. So when it's coming from the heart space, it's got to be birthed, like a baby. It's got to come in. It's got to come out. It's got to be nourished and birthed. So talk to me a little bit more about how you see your offerings fitting into this new market.
So, currently I really love working one-on-one, like one-on-one coaching. And I do enjoy workshops. They do take a lot of time and effort and energy to, deliver, drum up, support and deliver. And I'm thinking of, perhaps maybe putting a course together, or some little helpful things little helpful toolkits, I suppose. But I'm not really. I think that's the only things that I see at the moment. But I'm actually opening up to other things, whether it becomes like a mentorship, not a mentorship, like a mastermind. But that's probably not the word I would use. But so that clients, it's this weird catch-22. Sometimes I feel like, I often work for clients for 3 months, and a lot of the times at the end of that, they don't need me anymore, which is a great space, I feel. but then it's okay, now I need to find another, 8 or whatever it is. And that's exhausting. I felt. And
yes,
perhaps it's, perhaps it's about holding a space where if the clients choose to, they can, touch base maybe once a month and, pick up, because I'm a avid personal development, reader and learner, and maybe, that's what I can offer them, saving them having to sift through all the books. I can pull out the gold and say, this is what I've experienced, this is what I've tried. Maybe if you're a little bit stuck this month, you could, entertain this idea. Perhaps that might work.
I mean, I really feel that space, because I have exactly the same. I had a 3-month program, and I'd get clients for 3 months, and I'd teach them everything I knew, and then they would go off. And I guess I'd be like, that's really great, but hang on, so I changed my program to actually go from 3 to 6 months, because I felt like what was happening in the program I was offering was that the real magic was starting to happen in that 3rd session. Mamas would go off with the knowledge they had. But I know from past clients, I'm still really good friends with them, they still go back into feeling overwhelmed. They still go back into managing everything. They've now got a young family and a business. So it's the accountability that I find keeps people coming back. And so group coaching, which is just a mastermind. A mastermind is group coaching. And when we look at a business model where you're charging for your time, you're really at capacity. You're really limiting yourself. For babies, or young children.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you want to come up with a program that is live, perhaps, and that you're bringing people in. And the accountability and the live aspect of that, I think, is really profound. So I would definitely look at live coaching, accountability, bringing groups together. The wonderful thing about that is, instead of charging someone $1,000 for your program, you can make it a lot more affordable. And you can get 10 people to do it. So you're still making money from that, but this cost is split between everyone. And I think there's a real space for that. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about the, definitely group coaching is something I'd recommend. Talk to me a little bit about how you see facilitating couples and intimacy. That's a very different market for you. So how do you see that being facilitated?
Oh, so I don't want to work with couples. Like, my focus really is to work with women and just for themselves. Like, I guess it's really to do with self-love, self-confidence, and that space. And if I'm completely honest, that's really where I wanted to work when I first went in and did coaching, 4 years ago. And I got sidetracked by one, mainly listening to all the gurus in inverted commas about, you haven't got a problem you're solving, everything's self-confidence, etc., etc. I was like, so that's also another guiding light for me this time is, yes, while I do believe it's important to get support and get coached and mentored, I really want to stay true to me. But at times I feel that it's really challenging, because I'm not seeing those models out there so much, that I'm not, which is a good thing, because I need to be me, but it's it's a bit unknown territory, unknown territory. So really it's women and it's self-confidence, and the thing being is that it isn't, I've looked through all my client list and I couldn't pick a thread. I couldn't pick, this is the one thing they keep coming to me for.
It was also different.
So that leads me on to my, it all, what I believe personally, that it all comes back to self-confidence and I guess self-image, if you like, because that puts, what level we can experience our life at. But I'm having trouble with really market speaking that.
And if you were to take your women on a journey,
Yeah.
How would that look like? So if you're taking them from A to B, you know, so they're coming to you, they're feeling this lack of confidence, they're feeling this disconnection to self, and I'm all about self-love and self-care. But, so how, you know, what kind of journey would you take them from into feeling in that space to taking them to a space where they don't have necessarily these feelings anymore?
So, you know, I guess, you know, to clarify what you're saying there is that, you know, when they come in, they're generally pretty worried, pretty frazzled, anxious and stressed.
Yep.
Is where they are at. And then the journey is really about, you know, looking at, you know, opening up the possibilities that, you know, we are co-creators, and which is, you know, just a little baby steps in terms of, you know, we can have some input into how this is creating for us, happening for us. And then the next step is really, you know, digging right down into those beliefs and you know, about self straight up. And how we can change that.
Would you have modules? Would you have, like, how would you roll out the content that would allow people to get from frazzled, overwhelmed, feeling disconnected to then getting them into this space where they possibly have the tools and the techniques that you've taught them based on your own experience? And, you know, maybe I know your book's very practical, and so you know,
it would be very practical steps, like it would be modules, like almost it would mirror my coaching journey, you know, the coaching steps that I do, but, you know, allow them to self-coach.
Beautiful. I think
that's really so important. That's sort of it, you know, because the key to me, I believe, for me is the skills that, a lot of the skills that, you know, the strategies or the ways to self-coach is, I want them to be able to have them for their toolkit for their life.
Absolutely.
And then you know, if one, you know, they're having something that's repeated and that toolkit isn't quite working, or they can't quite you know, become unstuck, then that's where they could bring that, I guess, to that, you know, group coaching call that you were talking about.
Yeah, and you can also do individual mentoring. Like, what you may want to offer is that they have an individual session with you, you know, prior to the course. And this is actually also a great way of doing market research and actually finding out what the real issues and problems that your clients have, because when you're putting together a program, you need to find the solution for their problem. And this is why I send questionnaires. I use Typeform. It's a great platform. It's free. But I always try to get that information from people, because coaching for me and mentoring to a degree is taking people on a journey and saying, this is where I'm at now, and this is how I feel, and this is where I want to go. So you're actually essentially providing a journey, a map, a wheel, however you want to put that in to pretty pictures or whatever that means. So you're taking them on this journey. So it could be a step-by-step process.
Yeah.
So you could offer them an individual mentoring session or a free session to allow them to explain where they're at. And then, of course, you can put together a group coaching program based on the needs of the people in that program. So you may want to start with the market research and do a series of interviews to find out what people actually want, what people actually need, and then craft that program around that. So, you can pick the threads. I love that you looked through your clients to pick the threads. Yeah. And so you could offer a series of using a call out. You can use the Magnetic Mama group. You can use many groups on Facebook. A free session, you know, do you lack confidence? Are you feeling these needs aren't met in your life? Yeah. Can I give you a free coaching session in return for your vulnerability, I guess, in sharing what's not flowing for you?
Yeah.
Because you ultimately want to put together a program that is going to solve a problem, because people won't come to you if they don't have a problem.
And see, I just need, that has been the problem for since I have been, I don't, you know, since I have gone into, like, you know, when I, you know, did my coaching, and, you know, I've coached, you know, for many years, well, not many, but, you know, 4 years now, pretty solidly, was always, what problem do I solve? It was the problem when I walked out of my coaching training was like, I really wouldn't know what problem I solve. It's still, I've been on that journey for 3 years. And so then I forced a problem to solve, which was work-life balance, and then specialized it into teachers. I burnt myself out. You know, the irony is not lost on me there. Work-life balance. But you know, and then I felt, okay, well, maybe it's work-life balance for people, but I feel like that's not a high enough priority to want to part with money. Whereas weight, you know, intimacy, getting the right man, you know, I can list them all off for you, but can I tell you, none of them really go, yeah, that's in my heart, that resonates with me. And so this is the crux of my problem, is that 3 years, Leonie, I have tried to go, what is this problem I solve? And I still can't put my finger on it. And I know from all my knowledge in business, you know, from what I've learned, picked up working with mentors and coaches, is I need this, but yet it won't come to me. And I don't know how it's going to come to me when I look at all the problems that people solve and I go, that's not me. Is that making any sense there?
I'll ask, I mean, absolutely. So let's flip it around a little bit. What's your biggest problem? What's your biggest frustration in life with 4 children, running a business? What's your biggest struggle?
The biggest one for me is time and pressure.
So that's where I think you should start your coaching program.
Okay.
Because we teach what we need to learn.
Yeah.
I wrote a book about being a calm mother. I'm so not that calm often.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you know that problem, right?
Yeah.
You know the pressure.
It's time pressure. And you know what it is? It's the other thing is that it really is that confidence to just go for it.
Absolutely. Right.
Like to really go for it and say, I make no apologies to the fact that I'm going to coach you in confidence. I'm not going to solve any problem. I'm not going to market my speak in that. This is it. And if you don't like it, it doesn't take off, then that's the universe saying, so be it. Move on and do something else. But that's probably it. You know, do you know what I mean? Like,
a problem. There doesn't actually have to be a problem. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what if there is no problem? We are not necessarily problems. We just convince ourselves that all this stuff is going on and we can't be who we want to be. So it could just be that the issues are the pressure of the conformity and having this amazing life where you've got the 6-figure income and the 4 beautifully behaved children, and the way society pressures women into, like, we know mums especially are the most powerful consumer in Australia. You know, they're so phenomenal in the way they do run businesses and they do have but that comes with the price. They do feel overwhelmed, they do feel pressured. And I think when we go out there and we teach the lessons that we need the most, that there's real magic there, because you know, so you know those problems. You could sit down and write 10 ways to not feel pressured by society.
And
it's like, when I wrote my book, I wasn't writing it for single mums because I wanted to open up to mothers, but I really niched it. I really niched it into mothers who were really struggling with motherhood. And you niched your business before with teachers. Work-life balance is like, what is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But work-life balance for teachers is awesome.
Yeah, that's right, because it resonates for that market,
So with your new program, what you want to do is go, who is the mum I want to work with? Is it the mum with 4 kids with the business? Is it the mum who, working mums? Is it like, who is it? Because mums are so different, and we think they're the same. And I've had 5 or 6 interviews and they have been so different, right? We're so unique, we're so different. So I would take time going, who is my ideal customer? What does she like? How many kids does she have? Where does she hang out online? What food does she eat? What magazines does she read? Like, understand her, and then go from that space to how she's feeling. Like, she may appear really confident, but inside she's in turmoil.
Well, that's it. That's spot on. That is, and so the problem isn't even obvious. Like, it's not like a weight problem or, you know, it's, and that becomes a challenge because, you know, as you know, you may have experienced, mums don't necessarily, women in general don't want to say, hey, I'm struggling.
No,
you know, because we're not supposed to.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of
Yeah.
shame. There's a whole lot of shame and guilt, and I'm meant to be thriving in this role, and I'm really struggling, and I'm not confident. And what happens is women aren't confident in motherhood or business. So they just feel like they're failing at both. Or they're confident
that's it.
but the business can't flow. Or they're amazing at business, but they're just not connected with their families. So when you're developing a program like this, the language you're using, the branding you're using, all of this has to really speak to that customer. It has to really allow them, and this is where your coaching comes in to be so valuable. Because in the videos you make, or however you want to roll out that content, the self-coaching is I'm going to teach you how to work it out for yourself, because they might not even know the problem. They just know they don't feel enough joy. They don't feel there's something missing.
That's definitely right.
It's almost like you're able to help them understand what's going on for them. And by bringing in other women who all feel the same and doing supporting and coaching on a group level, the transformation is profound, because all the women in there feel generally the same in terms of they're not sure what the problem is. They just know there's something that needs to be discussed. And they then all start to learn and feel supported from each other. And that's where I find the real magic is. That's
right. No, that's good. It does. It's better for me because it's not about going, it must be this problem to solve. Like that just, you know, doesn't resonate. This hasn't been able to. I haven't been able to unlock that. And you know, maybe it is what you're saying. It's for women that there's something not right. Like they don't know what it is. But they know. Like, you know,
on paper, they're perfect, right? They've got the husband earning. Like this was my life when I was married. My ex-husband was at Macquarie Bank. We had lots of income. I had this beautiful baby. You know, we lived in this amazing house. I had lots of friends. But inside, I was... But nobody knew that.
That's right.
And it wasn't until my marriage broke down that was like, I couldn't really hide that. And there, you know, it was just... it was just so hard, right? And I'm so grateful for that now. But I reflect on that and I look at where I am now and I kind of think, wow, I had no idea I wasn't happy. I didn't know that I could ever have the life I had now. I had no idea that life even existed, right? So you're trying to teach them, because what they don't know, they don't know.
That's it. And that's where I think my dilemma has been. It's miraculous that I did have clients coming to me because, you know, they would often say to me, you know, this session, I don't really know what's going to be happening, but I know that we're going to pick up something will evolve from this and it'll be just what I need when I walk out the door. And I'll be like, so thank you for that. I can't really put that in my, you know, like that's not like, you know, your traditional marketing speak. But, you know, that would be a common thread through it.
There you go.
And that was lovely. But at the same time, you know, sitting on the edge of a knife, like for me, like I'm usually going in going, okay, let's, you know, go with, you know, what intuitively I'm, you know, we're connecting together and what they need. But that's very hard to, I've found that a challenge to put into that, to, you know, coach speak, you know, here's your avatar, what do you ask them, you know, all that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, anyway, look, the marketing side of that is all about the language. It's all about, you know, I think going from that space of there's just something missing there's just something not quite right, but you can't put your finger on it. It's like there's just this sense of shame almost, and guilt. And, you know, we're meant to have this great life. We live in Australia or, you know, Western world. But so many of us are just not aligned with our purpose. We're not aligned. We're not in great relationships. We're in jobs that don't serve us. We're really unhappy as a society. And there's a huge...
And I think,
Yeah.
I think, you know, that's what, you know, I said on my form is that's why I feel so passionate about this sort of self-love, self-confidence, because I feel like that lack of that is the root cause of so much of our, you know, dramas in our world, in our life. Like, you know, if people really loved and cared for themselves, and they, you know, would perhaps, you know, attract, you know, things that would make them happy and support them. And if people really cared and loved themselves, they'd say, you know, speak up for others who can't, and, you know, just have the confidence to be more kind and take care of others and have compassion. And I mean, I'm not trying to save the world, but I do think that is, you know, crucial. And particularly if mums learn that, then they can model it and pass it on to the next generation. Because, you know, there's this real thing, tussle I see in education, you know, for emotional well-being and self, you know, love and looking at your feelings. You know, everyone's saying, well, the teachers have to do it. It's like, well, the teachers are saying, we're trying to do it, but, you know, we've got to try and get through, you know, the million other things that, you know, you want us to do in school. And then some people say, well, you know, that's the parents' job. And you know, in response to that, most parents themselves weren't taught that. So how do we expect them to magically teach it out of thin air? So, you know, that's where I see a real need for this sort of, you know, space. And there's so many wonderful people working in it in some form or another, providing it. But
that's given me another idea.
Yeah.
So if you do know people in the industry, if you do know people who are out there, I would be more than happy to contribute. So on your course that you're creating, bring in guest speakers, bring in experts.
Yeah. Okay.
So run your course on however many modules you like. I'd say 5 or 6, because if it's
6,
people get a bit overwhelmed. They can't commit to a time frame.
That's
so
it.
You want it to be not too long, but great content.
Yeah.
You also want to, if you can, bring in bonus interviews, you know, with other people who are experts in this space, experts in self-compassion, Buddhism, gratitude, acceptance, whatever you want to bring in, because you're then going to create a partnership, and they're then going to roll out that course to their network and say, hey, I did this great interview with Patty, who's an author and a life coach. And, you know, she's got this beautiful new program. So partnerships and collaboration are really awesome. And there's great platforms like Entreport or Thinkific, where, you know, you can have your online program and you can communicate and you can run live coaching and you can make it look really pretty, really accessible. You can roll out that content each week. So you send an email, so you don't have the whole course live. You go, week 1, this is what you need to do. End of that week, you do a live coaching. People jump on Zoom and talk about it. Then you roll out the email for week 2, and so on and so on. So you're giving actionable steps, right? PDFs, checklists, making people really accountable. Then people come together to share. That's all recorded, goes into a private Facebook group. Definitely get a Facebook group. I think a group's even more powerful than a page with a program, and getting people to communicate in that, upload everything in there. But you're getting this commitment. Your women are sharing, and then you're able to use testimonials and case studies to then obviously market it and bring other people in. So that's how I would roll out something like this. I would bring in guest experts. People are always happy to share their gifts because they're going into markets. So that's how I would potentially.
No, that sounds really good. I do. That's sitting more, you know, sitting more centered in me. That ideas, those ideas, that way of doing things. Almost it's evolving as you go, rather than this is a problem I solve and everything's now geared into that market. This is an evolving thing, like almost like, you know, I understand certain things, but I haven't got it all figured out. So, you know, I'm here to, you know, work with you and help you figure it out too. So.
Yeah. I want to share with you, one of my beautiful friends and someone who I really admire wrote an article called "What If I'm Not a Problem?" And she shared it on Elephant Journal, and it got like 20,000 views. So Ricky Jane Adams, who's a very powerful spiritual leader. So I will share that actually with you.
Okay.
Yeah, like we feel like we are problems, but we're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes we know we need help when we don't feel a certain way. We know within that things aren't quite aligned with how they should be. We're feeling frustrated. We've got a heaviness. And like, that's why I always ask energetically, where are you feeling something to make sure it's aligned. And so I think going down that road of something's just not quite right, not quite sure, you know, that's going to entice people to come in and work with you more than you need to do this and fix this. And I really feel there's not really, I get so over those posts who are like, I went from, you know, $1 in my bank account to making 6 figures in a month. I'm like, rubbish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's right. And and it's sort of, you know, from what I can see, you know, for me, like what's the most powerful thing with all of this is helping women, but, you know, it would be helpful to men too, but is helping us own all of who we are.
Yeah,
you know, really own all of who we are, all the frustration, the anger, the this, all of those things where we think, you know, that's a problem and I shouldn't be like that, is actually the reverse is true. If we owned it and accepted it and, you know, saw the gift, then we would move forward. And that's essentially the skill I teach people, like how to do that for themselves. That's, you know, if that's the one thing that they could walk out of the course and do, they're right, they're good to go.
And it's such a gift. It's such a gift to be able to do that. Like something I teach is how to live in flow, because we go in and out of flow all the time. And just being mindful of, am I in flow? Is this serving me? It's because so much of what we do is automatic, and we don't have the conscious awareness. So
I'm glad you brought that point up, because I, you know, flow is a sort of a recent discovery that has eluded me for my life, because it's all about being, if I just work harder than everyone else, then I'll be better, you know, or I'll make it, or it'll be a success. And unfortunately that can get you so far, but it's usually the one-way ticket to burnout.
It's totally, especially with 4 children.
You know, so I can't do that anymore. And so for me, it's this, you know, discovery of flow, and it's so foreign to have spent so long of my life and, you know, doing it a different way. And, you know, that's what it's a challenge, because, you know, I go in and out of school still, and that's the sort of school system still. And that's why I don't feel I can return full time ever to it, because it's, you know, while it has its purpose, it's really disservicing, you know, half of the population that attend.
Yeah, it's the old paradigm. And I just had this amazing chat with Priscilla, who, she was phenomenal. I'd never even met her before, and you know, she just jumped on, and we were just talking all about surrender, all about the feminine, all about living in flow. Like, it was an amazing conversation. And it's such a shift from what we've known, and it's really powerful, but it's challenging as well. So we're all in the same boat in terms of wanting to live in this divine feminine, but we need money, and we have children, and, you know, we're sort of, but it's really shifting, and so many beautiful women are living the dream life. You know, they're making it work, and I'm like, I just want to be like them. I'm just following them. I'm just in their groups. I'm in their tribe. And so I think that's a great space to be as well. So thank you. I really hope you got some clarity.
Yeah, I did. I got some great tips, and just you know, where I can look to go to now and release being so caught up in, you know, being so definite about everything.
Yeah, because it's a process, you know. It's a business is just an experiment, and sometimes it works. Like, look what happened with Magnetic Mama. I made a Facebook Live, and now I'm just fully booked with interviews, right? Overnight. This is what happens sometimes. And we just go with that energy, you know. We just go with that and see where it flows. But one thing you could do is, if you wanted to actually interview some beautiful women, you can put it out in my group. You know, you can
thank you. That's very kind.
They are such beautiful women. They will help you. They will share. They will be honest. Market research is essential when you're building a business. You know, that's absolutely essential. And you can, you know, use a platform like Typeform, which gives them questions, yes or no answers. You know, you can, it's a really great, or SurveyMonkey is great, but it really allows you to go through the threads again. I love that word. Like the spider web, you know, and the connection. And it's like, trying to find a pattern that allows you to create the content and the language that attracts the client.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, spot on. Yeah, thank you very much. I really do appreciate your time. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Thank you, beautiful Patty. And
all right.
I'm so happy to have connected with you. And
me too.
I can't wait to share this.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.